What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. Happy Thursday. One more day to go before we can unleash and get hyped for another weekend. Thank you as always for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Make sure I thank the Lyles Figure Files VIP members: Jamelin Parks, Blake Tarpley, Lefty Two Lines, BK, Robert Hayes, Nathan William, James Green, Graham Tuttle, Vince, Henry G, The Rock, Ryan Daly, Jay Woods, Tom Finn, 2018, MOC Turtle, Doom Customs, Bro, Vintage Bob, Allen, Retro Robo, John Morrissey, Lawson Wallace, David Thanos, Pixelated Poses, and DJ No Good. Thank you all so much for continuing to contribute to this fine show. And also, I'm going to send a special shout out to the Lyles Figure Files super supporters: John Morrissey, Kwame Taylor, Lawson Wallace, Gregory Hayes, Danny Rue, and MOC Turtle. Thank you all so much for contributing as well to the show. So it's been a lot. This dropped today. I didn't get all of it. I was working and was not able to get in front of the computer. I don't know what's going on with my Pulse account. They're just like, sorry, I don't know what's going on. And it's been a pain because for the last 3 orders of stuff they put out, they've been, the site is busy or whatever. And since everywhere else has them, I haven't been so pressed to call Hasbro Pulse and figure out what's going on. But hopefully I can get that squared away in case there is a Pulse exclusive that I am not otherwise able to get. So hopefully that won't be a problem. Tomorrow, huge, major pre-order day. So much stuff coming our way. And our guy Dan over the Marvel Legends team made sure we're well aware. Reminder, scheduled for tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I feel bad for all of y'all on the West Coast. 9 a.m. These Marvel Legend X-Men figures will be available for pre-order, Target exclusive in the US. Now, as a reminder, I feel like I always have to do this with Target exclusives. Do not worry. No need to panic, with the lone exception of that Psylocke Thanos 2-pack that just vanished into the ether. Everything else they have as an exclusive is basically readily available on the website, in your stores. If you need help, of course, here over Lyles Figure Files, we can help. But the other two Marvel Legend X-Men figures, Professor X, 1749, you can add to cart right this moment. Same for the X Factor Marvel Girl. She's wearing a costume. She's Marvel Girl. They're both available. There's no need to panic or worry. I've seen some people actually have the Weapon X. I don't see him right here in this initial scroll. Here he is. 24. He's coming up on October 5th. So wow. It's crazy how fast this month has gone by. But in 2 more Sundays, you can get this Wolverine if your store doesn't have any, time release. Oh, this is street dated. You can't get it until October 5th. I know some people are. So there you go. Let's tune in with the chat, see what everybody is saying. Now I'll go on a few more things. Woogie Sasquatch. Hey, happy night before Batman Day's Eve. Yeah, so DC tried to come up with all these different ways. We just had Wednesday, Deadpool and Batman come out, or Batman and Deadpool, depending on if you're a DC or a Marvel head. The listings were different from each brand. So if you got the Batman versus or Batman Deadpool, all of the DC characters were front and center in the stories, along with the big main one. And if you're Marvel, it was Deadpool and Batman, which is very funny to see. But we've got that, and then there's a bunch of stuff coming out for Batman, of course, tomorrow. I can't wait for all that stuff. So big time on that. What up, David Thanos? What's up, peeps? Man, these pre-orders, and we still have New York Comic Con coming. Yeah. Well, at the very least, we know we don't have to worry about plunking down for those pre-orders right away. One thing I'm still happy to see was readily available, no worries about a pre-order panic, was the Gladiator and Deathbird 2-pack. Maybe that price tag of $57.99 scared some people off. This time earlier this year, this would have been $49.99. So, yeah, they've really raised the prices on these figures. I am happy that Deathbird is a full sculpted figure, so it's not like, oh man, what a ripoff. These are just two repaints. And boy, Gladiator, such a major improvement on that original figure. And then the second version, his colors look straight. Hopefully, the cape won't have too many paint issues. You can see here that even in the proto photos, the cape is a little smeared with the red seeping into the yellow sculpt line. Hopefully, that won't be a widespread issue. But Deathbird looks fantastic. There are some people, some of my buddies were saying that this, at least the lower half of Deathbird, seems like it would make for an easy version of Psylocke in her armored gear. So I'll pull up a picture of Psylocke for just a second. So there's some reuse, but this 2-pack looks great. I did pre-order it. It's one of those deals where I know you wait it out, it will probably be on sale. And I, of course, hate any and all price increases for these lines, but this is one I've really been clamoring for, a better Gladiator for years. Actually being able to get him without any fuss and muss, I'm down for it. And when X-Men 97 debuted and we had that episode with Deathbird and Gladiator, I was like, oh, hopefully this means we can get Deathbird and finally a better version of Gladiator. So we have them now. And yeah, so that was a pre-order that's all set and ready to go. But I'm digging these and not at all that price point. So let me see if I can pull it real fast. That Psylocke picture. Armor Psylocke. There we go. And so you can get a sense of maybe here's what they can use. And it really does seem like that would make sense and be a very easy way for them to do that. So here you go. I love when you can actually find the photo right away. Marvel Legends team style. So you can see that lower half works really well. I mean, that's just a straight up version of that Deathbird. Let me see if I still have kept that photo up from no. So let's see here. Let's go back to Dan while I pull up this photo. Let me do this. Let me pull my window down so I can do a straight up comparison. It's my first time podcasting. Let's do this. Pull this bad boy up so y'all can see, so I can do a real comparison. And let me get to this image of Deathbird on her own so you can really see how easy. There you go. Perfect. This is what we're talking about. So this Deathbird, you can see the armor parts right there in the lower half. I almost feel like they could just cheat and do that as well. So let's see how easily that works. I mean, it seems like the arms could work as well. Maybe not. Definitely that top piece. Now, granted, she's got a little rib section here. Would we be upset if they just straight up reuse this? I mean, even the colors are pretty similar. I feel like they don't need to go that far. We need a whole new torso. We need the shoulder pads. We need a soft goods. What am I thinking? McFarlane? No, but I think this could really work, and this would be an easy base for this version of Psylocke. So hopefully we do get her. They seem to be focusing and caring about getting that Outback X-Men team done. Of course, we have Storm coming, so she's en route. She'll be up for pre-order tomorrow, but she's a key member of this Outback team in this outfit. And I'm feeling like maybe what I'm going to do with this one is take out the long-haired sculpt and put on the short one that we have with the Uncanny X-Men training suit look, because I feel like that would be really cool with this outfit. Kind of like the shorter hair look with this outfit. She didn't really have it that long, but I would really like to move those two together and bam. And Don Dizza is a hater. He's just going, you sure 9 a.m. is the time? Gave the wrong time on Psylocke Thanos 2-pack. So, okay. Dan can't make mistakes. But anyway, let's see what else everybody else is saying here on the chat. Omega 579. Hey. What's happening? What's up, Omega? How are you? What up, G Brew? How are you, my friend? Jalen Parks. Greetings and salutations, all. Peace and long life. We can only hope. Jamelin, I didn't get through the McFarlane video yet. Oh, demerits for you. Just kidding. Gotta finish it after the stream. My allergies have been fun, so we'll see if I can make it through the stream for our normal length. But yeah, I mean, those McFarlane figures are crazy. He keeps showing off new cool figures. And I was like, hey, dude, how long do you have this license? I cannot find any interviews where McFarlane says the actual end date. But until he's done, I'm rocking with this stuff because wow, the stuff we're getting from McFarlane at this point is pretty wild. And I'm gonna pull up a few of the figures that just came out today for pre-order and this week for pre-order. It's been, I mean, there's so many McFarlane figures that have gone up in the last week that is crazy. This guy though, I mean, he's gonna be one of my favorites this year because it's like, hey, you didn't mess it up. You actually included Hootie, and no problem. He doesn't need to have the wings going out. This is one of those where this is gonna be like a direct comparison with the DC Classics figure, and I feel like because of that soft goods cape, this is gonna win out. But this is a really nice job. Got those colors just so they gave him and accessories. And then back in the day, a collector edition figure would have so much more with the accessories, but I'm not gonna complain because this guy has everything that I feel a Dr. Midnight figure absolutely must have. So he looks really solid, and I'm very happy. Maybe could have gotten a blackout bomb or two, but yeah, this is a really well done figure, and I'm so happy to see Hootie. I know some of us were going, let's just hope Hootie's included, and he is. So we got him covered there, and really nice job with his figure. And then let's go back here. I was not the hugest fan of the failsafe arc, as I felt like Batman has been written too often as an unstoppable hero, and failsafe was arguably worse because he just couldn't get beaten. But I do think it's cool that McFarlane cranked out this failsafe figure. It's a mega one. I feel this is we've seen this base used with the booster gold and blue beetle set. Not quite sure why they included here. And he's not a toy. Remember, that's why he's got a gun. And I think this is a cool looking figure, and cool in the sense that he doesn't have to be associated with your DC characters. Outside of those points, which could work for anything, and you can see like the hint of a bat, but he could work in any, or it could work in any setting for your figure collection. You check out the sculpting detail, which is really well done. So this would make for a great evil Terminator style robot for any collection of yours. So I do dig that. Probably not a figure I'm going to rush to get, especially not for 50 bucks. So I'm figuring if he is cheaper, if he hits a clearance, say to 30, especially at 20, I'm going to grab him. But I think they did a really nice job with this failsafe figure. There we go. And then let's go to some other stuff because there was a bunch of sellouts really fast. Not in the WWE style of sellout, but just wow, these figures are sold out amazingly quick. Here's Batgirl Classic, that Riddler from Hush, and great head sculpt on him, and Scarecrow, who could also be in the running for figure of the year. I mean, there's so many options. So here you go. Nice looking job on this Riddler. You can't go wrong with the suited version after you get the classic version. So I'm fine with this. I don't know if I have to have it, but I do think they did a nice job on them. And I kind of dig this pose. I mean, have we seen the suited figures hit that kind of range? Love that. So he can do that, but the Batgirl though, she's the one. And when I tried, I went through all my different places, of course, after 1 o'clock, well after 1 o'clock, and sold out. So hopefully I won't have any trouble finding her later. But I thought they did a nice job with this figure. She looks good. And we saw on the McFarlane Toy Show, they've got another one coming in the purple and yellow, but I do like this color a lot more. And she can hang out with the Nightfall Batman with these colors. But yeah, they did a nice job with her. I love the shading around her cowl too. I mean, that's just something I want to see with all my Batman figures, including that really great Nightwing that we got. A little cell shading for those characters with the blue and the black highlighting is always a good thing. Scarecrow. I mean, look at this figure. They put in so much extra work with it, with the design. I mean, the card is true to what he should look like. They put in all this straw wraps in ties and cords. So well done. I mean, this is so much more. This is them translating Scarecrow basically to a real world application, and I don't hate it. It looks really good. I love the work they did on that head sculpt. That looks so creepy. Comes with a Sith and a very teeny tiny skeleton or skull, but good stuff all around with this guy. This is a really well done figure, and they keep nailing it with these figures. It's just like they haven't hit a lull with really solid stuff, and they keep delivering good figures. The whole deal sold out. Scarecrow, the case, Riddler, and Batgirl is listed as pre-sold out. I tried just for fun to see if like maybe since it's not grayed out like the others, but I couldn't actually add her to my cart. And then here is let's go to this one. More Batman figures. I know, what were the odds? So we have a Black Mask Batman, the Justice 2 or Earth 2 Society Batman, and then the Batman Inc. one. I'm not quite sure what the deal was they were trying to do with the glow on his deal. Maybe they should have talked to Naomi because not quite the same deal here. Didn't quite come out well. And I don't really love that base for Batman, but I guess if you needed another Batman, there you go. Black Mask is Batman. He comes with some fun accessories. He's got this syringe, also not a toy. Got some hands, and he's got some keys. They're using the Dick Grayson Batman mold here. It's a kind of a cool, creepy looking figure. Don't need this one, but it does look cool. Run through these real fast. And here's your Earth 2 Society Batman. These colors look wild and just a fun look. I feel like if he hadn't gone so nuts with so many Batman variants over the years, I'd be okay with this one because Earth 2 was fun, but we don't have a lot of Earth 2 characters in that new 52 Earth 2, not the old school pre-crisis or post-crisis era. But this is good stuff. And, it's sold out. So clearly there's some interest from some people with those figures. Back to the chat. What's up, Ronnie San? How are you, my friend? Greetings to you. Blake Tarpley's here. What's up, figure filers? What's up, Blake? Ow. That's my keyboard. You might have heard clacking against my fingers when I said, what up, Blake? King Collector. Royalty is in the building as well. King is in the building. What's up, y'all? What's up with you? Snake Eyes. Howdy, partner. Lost and Wild says, hello, Jeffrey. Lost figure filers. Hit the like button. And also, stay tuned because Lawson has a new giveaway for you all. So stay tuned, stay frosty for that. Of course, that'll be later on tonight. Michael Solis, it's figure files time. I did check my watch. It is. How are you, Michael? King Collector. Was I the only one that missed that McFarlane Scarecrow and Batgirl pre-order today? No, it sold out fast. They do that. For all these people who can't stand the McFarlane license, these figures sure do sell out on the pre-order window quickly. Quick, fast, in a hurry. G-Brew, I didn't even know any of those McFarlane pre-orders dropped. I did pre-order the Deathbird Gladiator 2-pack because X-Men. Yes, sir. Ryan Daly, what's up? How are you? Sure, Fuse and Steeler 2-pack also tomorrow at 9 a.m. at Target. Limited Pulse quantities, not qualities. Hopefully Pulse quality is not limited, but you never know since you queued us up for it. Let's go right to it. So B-Mac, who, I don't know, it's weird because it's like, yeah, he's taking over for Emily, but then we see Emily so often. He did post on his Instagram, Ralph Steeler Pulaski and Short Fuse. I don't know why Short Fuse doesn't have his full name either. Will be part of this week's Target Fall Collector Con on Friday, September 19th at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I feel like maybe this is one I'm just gonna, I don't know, the price is increasing so much on all these figures. I might just wait till they show up in Target and then hope that I can stumble onto one of their sales because that's pretty good. And we all know that Target will have something where Pulse will not. But solid 2-pack. I love Steeler's head sculpt. I think that is so fitting for him as a character. He's got his visor. I'm kind of figuring out, do I want to leave this black? Probably not. Maybe I'll make it a little gray or something just to change it up some. But they come with a lot of gear. Always like to see that with these figures. We have different knives. Short Fuse has the glasses. Very happy about that. And I like that while we have our original 13, the all green and camo and orange and lavender, purple jumpsuit, they still have some distinct colors. So they keep the green theme with this crew, and of course, all black Snake Eyes. But we've got some nice distinction between them, and I'm still waiting to get that Flash. Hopefully, we'll see him soon. But these two look really great. And then Ghost Viper. Not sure, Ryan. When are these dropping? Looking forward to this one too. That's going to be a really fun addition to the collection. Ghost Viper and Dire Beast. Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, classified series line doesn't disappoint ever. So looking forward to getting all those figures. King Collector, yeah. I was able to get the Gladiator 2-pack, thankfully. Still available. So whatever they're doing now, they've seemed to have worked out the craziness of, oh no, 5 minutes have passed. It's pre-sold out, which is always wild. Jibber, I pre-ordered that Weapon X as a consolation prize when the Psylocke 2-pack sold out. I'd honestly forgotten about it until now. See, I have to keep up with what I'm pre-ordering. And they definitely are not a shrug. I'm like hyped and ready for all the stuff I pre-order. And it's like, is it here yet? Speaking of, is it here yet? I finally have my shipping notification. My classified series dial tone should be here Monday. And I'm ecstatic to finally get him. I've gotten so many Joes since the time I pre-ordered him. And, you know, it was like, is he ever arriving? But he is. So I'm really looking forward to pairing him with Leatherneck right away. And then the rest of that 86 squad. So good stuff. Excuse me. Maurice, how are you today, my friend? Good time zone to you as well. Critical Enjoyer. What's good, Jeffrey? All right. No, I'm not getting taken out by anybody at King's Landing. What's up, Critical Enjoyer? I'm doing good. Easy Reader. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? It is going well, my friend. How are you? Dark Knight 297. Happy Thursday night, Jeff, and the Figure Files crew. What's good, party people? Doing solid, my friend. It's Thursday and I'm doing a thing. Maurice, is it just me or does the Deathbird head sculpt look like the Manor in Psylocke? I don't think so. Let me see if I can pull up because of course that showed up as well. Let's see. Figure. Or did they just call it? Yeah, let me see if I can just pull up a real quick image from like Amazon or something. Let's see. No, okay. So this here is where Pulse doesn't always come through. Let's just do this. All right, so we've got our Marvel Legends 2-packs. Let's do this. Pull up this website of mine, and I'm so glad to get Blandra, and they did a nice job. She's also got those armored legs that I think may actually work better. So here's that Mandarin. I don't know. I don't really see it, but of course, we have a very maniacal expression. I think that she looks a little bit more psychotic than our Deathbird. Let's see. Hey, great. Yeah, she's got a little wilder head sculpt, a little bit more intense. Where Psylocke is just kind of chill. Like, what's going on, people? She's got an evil glare, and Deathbird has a I'm here to kill you, and I'm going to enjoy myself while I'm doing it. So close. I can see where you can see that, but yeah, not quite. I'm glad that they're different because that would not be great. Jibber, I need to buy a cloth cape for that Gladiator, so I have one in the 2-pack arrives. There you go. Maurice, Deathbird should have also come with some extra hands. What did she come with? Let's do. Oh gosh, you're right. This set is not really offering a killer value. When I rate these figures, that is definitely it's weird shit. But I'm trying to think what kind of hand sculpts would you want her to have? Because I mean, I love these. I don't ever think of her as a fist throwing character. But yeah, you would like to see at least all the characters have something extra, especially in the 2-pack that's $57. Always reference that Drax the Destroyer and Moondragon 2-pack where Drax was huge and massive, and then $49.99 for that. And it's like different days now. Lawson, I know many are jaded on McFarlane now, not me, but Dr. Midnight, Batgirl, and Scarecrow look amazing. Also, the Batman Return figures going up tomorrow look incredible. Yes. I mean, it's one of these things where I feel like people are just kind of locked in on, I don't like McFarlane. And it's whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and go, you need to like McFarlane. What I will say is they've done an excellent job of trying to cater to the DC fans who want a different style. And I think they've done a pretty good job of responding to collector critiques. And I mean, earlier it was really Batman and Superman, but they've given us so many characters. Look over here behind me. Oops, not that way. Here. And all through there. So many different characters we haven't gotten from anybody else. I mean, Mr. Bones, who I haven't managed to take off my desk yet because he's so fun as a figure to have in this collection. And I mean, we've gotten stuff we haven't gotten. So definitely dig that. And absolutely, the Batman Returns figures, a major priority. I may need to get up at 8 a.m. So I'm all set and ready because I got to get Penguin, Batman, Catwoman, Max Shrek. Hopefully the Penguin Commandos are not some insane, ridiculous price point. But yeah, I am so looking forward to getting those figures. And having them in hand. David Thanos, of course, I am saving your answer to the question for tonight for later. Lawson, Ty's doing his best stuff right now. I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, but it's funny because I feel like over the last 2 years, McFarlane Toys has really done some great stuff with really strong figures. There's a point where I quit the line and they have just delivered so much good stuff, high quality figures. I'm like, how did I get all these McFarlane Toys figures here for my DC collection? It was like, there's no way they can compete with my DC classics. And of course, there's still so many more DC classic figures that we're not going to get from McFarlane. But there's some figures where it's like McFarlane did a better job than DC Direct or Mattel. So we'll see by the time it's all wrapped up and done here. Jeeber says, my best friend's favorite Batman flick is Returns, and he's psyched for those McFarlane figures. Nice. What up, Ski Raider? How are you? Christopher Walken. Need I say more? I mean, seriously. And Lawson, did you see the McFarlane toy show where they revealed this new Max Shrek head, which is so insane. I can't believe we're actually getting this with this figure. There we go. Too many windows. All right, let's see. Here it goes. So we're getting the taser face, which influenced James Gunn with that character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But there you go. We're actually getting that look for him. And I'm just like, that's crazy. Got to get that Christopher Walken Max Shrek figure. All the same. Maurice, McFarlane has managed to pull me back in for a few more figures. Yeah, I mean, there have been a ton that he's done, and I'm just so excited to have them. And I feel like we are very close to everything, that we know is coming. So New York Comic Con, I am fully expecting and looking forward to anything else they've got to reveal, because it's just like there's still time. What else can you get out to us before it's all said and done, Todd? Because I'm excited. I feel like they've done so much good stuff that a few more months, a lot more months, we should see a lot of really good figures from now till whenever they're done with the license. I'm getting conflicting reports that, they're done at the end of the year. Mattel's taking over mid 2026, which doesn't mean that McFarlane's going until then. And I'm trying to find out. No one can confirm this information for me. But, however long McFarlane makes these figures is a good thing for those of us who've been collecting this line for a while. And I feel like it's just inevitable. He's going to hit on more figures that more collectors have been looking for as time continues to go on. And we're getting close. I'm just trying to see if there is anything else that we have not seen that they teased at Comic-Con I've got too many folders and too many things with McFarlane figures. So I'm just trying to kill time as I scroll through all these McFarlane figure images that I have that I've managed to collect over the year. Okay, so let's see. Let's go. Let me do this real fast. Let's go back through to what we saw from McFarlane come last New York Comic Con. And let's do this. So, New York Comic Con day 2, we saw this. The Batman and Robin Batmobile, we saw. Platinum versions, one of their best waves, no stinker in the set. Captain Cold, Power Girl, Guy Gardner. Then we saw, let's see, have we seen all these figures now? We haven't seen Guardian. Everyone else we've seen. So, Jade, classic Bizarro, who I wish were on a bigger buck. That was a problem with that figure, but otherwise really good. Eradicator, a much improved one on the original. This was day 2, and we've seen all these figures. Geoforce, Simon Bass, Lightning Lad, Grid, Mr. Terrific, and then we saw the Task Force wave, that Build-A-Figure wave, so there's still hope for a Build-A-Figure set. The Mega Fig, Swamp Thing, another wave of figures. We've seen all of them by this point. And more superpowers. And they showed a bunch of stuff last year at New York Comic Con. I wonder if we're going to see this much this time in October. Because, I mean, they would have to crank out a lot of stuff. WonderCon, that was earlier this year. We saw these figures. And now we're going to pre-order them tomorrow. Now we've seen all of these figures now at this point, including that Eradicator from last year's Comic Con. That was spring 2025. And we've seen everything except for Beast Boy now. And here. And we haven't gotten our pre-order for Mr. Miracle and Sandman yet. Everything else we've seen in stores. We got most of these page. Well, I don't know what happened, why Mr. Bones needed to be a page puncher in another line. But we've seen all these figures. So New York Comic Con could be maybe it's the last hurrah for all those McFarlane reveals. But if it's anything like last year, there's a ton of figures still to come from them. So we'll see. David Thanos. Love that we're getting Christopher Walken, one of my favorite actors. More cowbell. Yeah. And same. And I really loved his character in Batman Returns. So being able to have that is so cool. Lawson. I'm not big on Storm's 90s costume, but that figure looks so good. I may change my mind about that. I like that time period. I didn't really start waning in my interest for X-Men until they did like the latest round of the team were in Cable, X-Man, Wolverine, Angel, Cyclops, and Jean Grey were on the team, and they were like, let's kill Cyclops. It's like, I've had it. And then I came back when they brought him back. David Thanos, Midnight Scarecrow's top 5 this year. I mean, I feel like if you look through everything that's come out in 2025 from McFarlane, you're like, wow, that was a 2025 release. Let me show you this, because I realized I hadn't been keeping up with my checklist for McFarlane with everything they've done so far. But let me show you real fast what has come out for them in 2025, and maybe you could help me figure out if they're still in the top 5 when it's said and done here. So we've gotten Adam Strange, classic Bizarro, Cyborg Superman, really well done, Captain Cold, Deadshot, Damage, Earth 2 Robin, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Kingdom Come Superman, Mr. Bones, Nightwing, he's a top 5, Power Girl, Starman. Those pins are a problem. This Superman came out this year, and Two-Face, and Wildcat. And there are a few more that I haven't reviewed, so they're not here in my gallery, obviously. But it's a lot of figures who are really strong in 2025 from McFarlane. I feel like we're still due for like 5 or 6 more who could easily qualify for that top 5 contender status. So doing pretty solid with them. Hootie, but not Blowfish. I see what you did there. Hootie hoo! I did that in the last video, which is the only reason I didn't say it here, Lostman. Ski Raider, top 5 that's trying to go out with a bang. bang, bang with Dr. Midnight and Danny DeVito standalone figure. He's got more fervor than walking with cowbell on the way out. Yeah, I mean, I know people keep tweeting, why didn't they do this from the start? Maybe it took time to get there, but I don't care. It didn't matter if I got a figure in the first year or the last year. They're in the collection, and I'm pretty happy with them. Lawson, that failsafe Batman could be a cool next gen Cobra Bat. Yeah. Like he looks like he'll work. I keep saying it's a robot, but he's programmed with Bruce Wayne's mind. So that's why I'm saying that. And there's so many options to go with this. I mean, painted gold. I mean, you can imagine a classified series team. All right, well, here's the Iron Grenadier failsafe. But yeah, there's lots of possibilities. And I feel like if he hits clearance and there's a bunch of figures on the shelf, I could see a lot of people buying them to army build and just go all out trying to do some different color variations of it. I call him Hipster Riddler. It's funny though, but what's so hipster about him? It's just the hair? Maybe so. If he had that ponytail, I would be right there with you. Skipping on the Riddler. King Collector. I like Riddle in the classic outfit only. Bro. Yeah. David Thanos, Batgirl head scan is best of the year. I mean, they're cranking out these figures, man. Lawson, you still have ways to get Batgirl and Scarecrow. It's not like what happened when Wonder Woman came out and disappeared in a minute. Things have been more readily available. And I've been pretty good. Where's the wood to knock on? With getting figures. And then if I don't, I just pull up the Lyle's Figure File signal. And y'all have been awesome in helping. So hopefully that'll be what happens here. Is there boots? Is there bats on the boots of Batgirl? Michael Solis, let's find out. I'm trying to find that area. Again, the problem with too many windows. I don't think we have that view. You're asking about the boots on the bottom of her heel? Of her sole. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna say we don't see that photo. Yeah, don't think so. I mean, maybe we have that with some of the Batman figures. Just can't tell with this one. Lawson, Scarecrow is tight. He looks to have been treated like an A-lister this time around. Yeah, I mean, they put so much work into him. I'm really impressed. Scarecrow looks more buff than he should be. Agree, Maurice. But it's good enough overall that you can ignore it. So I was able to work around this because I'm just like, he's getting beat up all the time. Maybe he's packing a little bit more that straw stuffing in there to soften the blows from when Batman hits him. It's not traditional armor, but it's providing some cushion. So that's what I'm going with because his legs are not super jacked up. Maybe he skipped leg day, but he doesn't look like he's that massive all the way around, which kind of works out in this case. Yeah, so let me pull that up really fast. He does have a scrawny lower section. So there you go. It's just padded out so he can take those body blows a little bit easier. Todd is not coasting. Right. Now, we saw that with Mattel when they were wrapping up. It was like, here's a thrown together figure. Enjoy. He's like, no, not here. Ronnie, Scarecrows and sleeping on the gym time. King Collector. That's a great Scarecrow. Todd may need to renegotiate his DC deal for one more year. Man, could you imagine if you had like just 6 more months? I guess he would need a full year because he's not slow in showing the figure, putting up for pre-order, but when he does these massive reveals and it's like, oh, I can't wait because we still haven't seen Zatanna. So that's one. And then we know Elongated Man's coming. So there's still a lot more stuff that we know. And Starman, we haven't seen him either. So there's just a few. GameStop might still have Batgirl and Scarecrow. I'll have to check. Thank you. Dark Knight 297. That DC Multiverse suited Riddler is a 7-inch copy of the Mafex Hush one. But isn't that the design though? I mean, is he supposed to redesign it for that? I mean, that would be my one question on that. Should it be a different look for it? Let's see. McFarlane. I'm looking on GameStop just to see. They tend to disappoint me. Especially when they started raising the prices of figures to like $86 per figure. Let's see. I don't see them right away, which of course means nothing. I'll have to scroll through that later. What up, Rick Cage? Greetings, all Lost Figure Files collectors and captains. At ease, Lieutenant. Van Doom. I said what it is, Figure Files crew. What's it gonna be, Mr. 2 Mil, my main man Jeffrey? What's up, man? How are you tonight? Good to see you as always. Lost, and I was looking for the Batgirl, but I thought it looks okay, but not 100% classic. Then I saw it today. Woo-ha! Way better than that initial photo led me to believe. Way better. It's funny because I feel like so often McFarlane is the opposite of some of the other companies where, and I feel like they really stepped up their game with their product photography. As of late, they had a photographer on staff for a while who did some really cool stuff, but then other photos have been just, but this last round is like, oh wow, they look even better than the photo. And it's not like they're sleeping either. Ryan, they had to say Ralph Steeler Pulaski on official releases and packaging because they don't have a trademark on the name Steeler. I know. Short fuse with that spelling, it's all theirs. So no full name. I always find it funny with the file cards when they have to do that. They did have to do that with Outback too. But I understood totally on that one. Steeler is ready to jump universes and Mac on that bareness. Yeah, maybe I can put her with the pilot Rattler Baroness since her glasses do come off. Oh, I wonder if that was so late after I've gone because that was like 20 minutes now that I got to yours. Oh boy, to check. King Elector, I have to get the short fuse 2-pack. Yes. David Thanos says, along with Gone W Meta. Turtle Buster wants to know why didn't they re-release classic Wonder Woman in that shiny style? They did Red Tornado, the peg warmer. He was a peg warmer, wasn't he? I mean, no reason that they can't make more figures of Red Tornado. I was trying to do two things at once. And where is Red Tornado in these pictures? Oh, there he is. I mean, I don't see why they can't do more Wonder Woman figures. That's one. It's pretty easy. When you mentioned Red Tornado, I think this is an awesome version of him. Soft goods cape too. I mean, that's so much better than the one that I was fine with, that peg warmer. And I was happy to get that figure for, I want to say $7. I was like, great score. I feel like paying $29 for this figure is going to balance it out. But this one looks so good. And I mean, just the enhancement to get the soft goods cape, because that kind of dragged down my other one. It made him heavy and not in a sense that he's a terrible figure. He's just harder to stay posed up. Now, my real question is, now that I know we're getting a classic version, should I take that Red Tornado and try to paint him up like the old school style? We had a little bit more purple in there. Put him with the Justice Society. What do you think? What up, Retro Robo? What's up, Jeff and the Figure Files crew? Ryan Daly. Ghost Vipers whenever the next Walmart Collector Con is. Is it next weekend? Early October? Let's find out. I think you're right, though. We do all this stuff here in live time here on Lyle's Figure Files. It took too long. Oh, let me see. There's always that thing with Walmart, and very interesting. So I went onto their website, and I know they normally put it up there when they have it. October 17th is October 17th is the next Walmart Collector Con. Looks like, what day is the 17th? Because I know they normally do, that's the Friday. So it's probably going to be on the 16th and the 17th because they normally have theirs on 2 days. So there you go. Lost and Marvel Legends 2-packs have been readily available since Gambit and Rogue. Hasbro is giving us all chances to get this stuff. Available at other outlets, more quantities available. Yeah, I feel like we're going to see a lot more quantities available, so price increases too. Ski Raider. Short Fuse and Psych Out will have a nerd out session with Big Lob when I assemble them. Steeler has an interdimensional ladies' night hookup like Big Papa Pump. Holla if you hear me. Russia Robo. Dial tone came in via dial up. Same for me. Dude, he had the worst connection. But yeah, so excited about finally getting him. Maurice, I finally started using a spreadsheet to track my pre orders. The way stuff kept moving around made it a necessity. Yeah, and like so much faster. So I was seeing my guy Preternia said that let me see if I can pull that up real fast. Like if you ordered the X-Men 97 line, yeah, see that. If you ordered the X-Men 97 line, they're already starting to go, hey, get ready. They may have been in stock for some people and they may have started to ship, but it's way faster than when they originally told us they were coming. That's always the thing with yeah. There you go. This was yesterday. So this stuff is crazy. So, damn. Emma's currently available at Amazon, and the shipping date moved up to October, not to October, to tomorrow for all this stuff. And this is back. So I guess maybe people are starting to get theirs today. So crazy stuff. I feel like when I was ordering, Cable and Emma were the two priorities. So I pre-ordered them. But in hindsight, I probably should have gotten a couple of Sunspots. I feel like this wave won't be impossible to find in stores, but I think other people might go, yeah, I need to get a couple of these Sunspots so I can create some more New Mutants. We'll see. Lawson says Deathbird's face is way better than Psylocke. Agreed. And I didn't think that Psylocke had a bad head sculpt either. Snake Eyes, yes. I still need to get that Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack. Yes, sir. David Thanos, is X-Men 2-pack going to be at Target or Walmart? The new ones? I don't know. I mean, I assume they're going to be there too. Maybe they're online exclusives. I don't know. Let me see what Dan said. Let me go back to all the way he said. Oh, no, this 2-packs are fan channel. So I would assume no retailers like Target or Walmart for those. So yeah. And I feel like maybe that was the case also. You said the X-Men 2-pack. I'm assuming you meant this one, but let me see if he also mentioned something about those 2-packs from X-Men 97 with Storm Wolverine and Marvel Girl and Cyclops. Nope, too much stuff. All right, well, get to that later. Back to the chat. Lawson, I would want Deathbird to have a Captain Hook can, not because she's ever had one, just like Pirates. Arg! Blake, I ordered that Gladiator 2-packs of knee-jerk reaction, but then canceled it a minute later. I only wanted the Gladiator, so I don't feel obligated to buy things I don't need. Oh, come on, Blake. That's way too mature of you. Yeah, I understand. That price is definitely not going to help with those figures. Skew Raider, Deathbird has a good stuff ready and in full supply, definitely. Tyrone Biggums. Skew Raider, Todd Father and playing with the Batman Returns figures. He's like, name, oh yeah, returning these. Yeah. Maurice, Penguin, Catwoman, Batman, and hopefully the Penguin Commandos. No Max Shrek for you? The vehicle is crazy. Ambivalent on Max, but since he's GameStop, I need to look for an alternative anyway. Oh, I see. What's up, Anthony Rogers? What's good, Jeff and Figure Files crew? Just finished the McFarlane Reveals video. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I need to cop that $0 Superman. And I may need that Spectre and Atom Smasher 2-pack. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix up the Spectre, but I'm glad they made those. What up, Lefty Two Lines? BK squad up. Are the Batman Returns figures available on McFarlane? Where? What time? Same bad times, same channel. So let me go to McFarlane's website or their Twitter account so I can do this properly and not rely on my memory. There you go. I am most sure that Entertainment Earth is going to have these figures up. Let's go to their drop zone first since I'm already there. So here's this. So drop zone. This is McFarlane Toys, 12 p.m. our time. If you're on the East Coast, I'm assuming everyone is. I don't know why. So that's when we're going to see them go up for pre-order. Now, give me one quick second to go to McFarlane's page to go with all of their stuff. Uh-oh. Oh boy. This has August stuff. So I'm like, maybe they're not going to be the best source for this information. I felt like I saw something. Ugh. Man, let me see here. I was just on McFarlane's stuff. And I know this is not the one I was looking at. That's so weird. Let me try one more thing here. Okay. Yeah, that's what happened. I guess the last time I was on it, they went way back to all that stuff. So let's see. Scroll through real quick. Talking about all the stuff that's available now or somewhat available now. Let's get to these other figures that are still there. All right. Penguin Commandos are McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. They're up tomorrow. So this is the only way you can get those. Maybe we should team up so we don't have to spend $80 in shipping for these. Penguin and the Duck Truck, thank you, Jamelin, comes out tomorrow. Pre-order exclusively at GameStop. Max Shrek, excuse me. Max Shrek is available for pre-order tomorrow at GameStop. That he will also be available in stores at Walmart and Target next month. Catwoman, select retailers pre-order tomorrow. So same deal for Batman and same deal for Penguin. So that's what I'm thinking are the figures here. Just those three: Batman, Catwoman, and Penguin. Now the rest of them you're gonna have to go through GameStop, and it might be easier if you're already on GameStop's website to order everything from them, because they're part of the, I would assume they're part of the select retailers that are also going to have Batman, Catwoman, and Penguin. Of course, GameStop jumped to raise their prices, so they may be the most expensive and probably not the best option if you want to go that route. And McFarlane may have a bundle, so that might be something that could be of interest to people as well. Of course, I will put the links up to all of these figures on the channel, so stay tuned as soon as they do that. Let's see here. So just because I'm curious if they have this stuff still. It doesn't look like they're grayed out. No, they're right up. So here's an option definitely want to consider if they do indeed have these figures up, which I could not imagine they won't. They'll probably have a bundle, which will make it cheaper. Now, of course, you need to be right there right away to get that. And they're $26.99 straight up. But I imagine that you could find a bundle. And let's see, this one had the 3 Batman figures. It also had the 3 other figures. So that, I mean, you had to get all of them. Oh, I'm sorry. It also had Failsafe. I didn't see him back there. That's a pretty decent bundle, but they didn't have, it looks like just these 3. They had these as a pack. It's a bundle. But yeah, not necessarily the easiest way to get them. So maybe they'll do something. I don't know, but I would recommend checking them out too while you're scrolling around for the best price on these. Pixelated Poses, what's going on? Has McFarlane released an unmasked Val Kilmer Bat Bruce Wayne? No. And nor did he do one for George Clooney. I don't imagine he will. I'm curious if there is a separate fee for, and I don't know how those licenses work out. Like if you have the likeness with a mask on, if that's one rate, And then an unmasked one, is that a totally different one? Snake Eyes, I need help. If you see him, can you help me? G-Brew, I own 3 McFarlane figures, Darkseid, Starfire, and Hawkgirl. I prefer the ones that aren't just blank bodies with paint and no sculpt. They don't look as good then. He does it best with the crazy sculpts. Yeah. Anthony, you are here among your people, my friend. I might be in the minority. The latest drops from McFarlane have been good. Very good. I'm having to be picky with all that he has dropped. I definitely would like to get Batgirl, Scarecrow, and the Hush Riddler. Yeah, man. A lot of us are feeling this stuff. Dog Avenger, that Dr. Midnight is really nice. I wish his scaling was better. What's up with his scaling? I mean, besides the obvious, but I don't know about Dr. Midnight. I mean, well, this imaginary big barter figure. I mean, I don't. He tends to make most of the female figures too tall anyway. I mean, look at Hawkgirl. She's taller than Superman. So I don't think you're going to have to worry about her not being taller. What's up, Henry G? What's up, Jeff Figure Files fam? How's everyone doing this wonderful evening? Spectacular, my friend. How about you? Big C Rishi. What's up? One more Bane before Todd leaves? Todd's not going anywhere. What would you like to see with this Bane? A cheaper one? Because I mean, he has put some out. I haven't looked at the secondary prices for Bane lately, but I wonder, would that be it? Anthony, I mean, the recent new Batman drops are even good. Well, all except the Batman ink costume. The paint on glow is weird to me. Yeah, I don't quite understand what he was going for with that one. Harry G. Shout out to my guys Lawson and David Thanos for my X Factor Jean Boots upgrade and Crystal Ball, respectively. Nice. What up, Vintage Bob? How are you? Going pretty well. Blake, Jeff. Speaking of Wildcat, I'm midway through Crisis on Infinite Earths. Let me see, it's 12. So you're on issue 6 now. Wildcat just changed mantles at the end of issue 5. So Blake, everything that's gone down so far has been wild. But the back half of it is, boy, you're in for it. And hopefully, well, I feel like reading Crisis, even if you know what's going to happen, is still totally different reading it. So you're in for a great next few issues. I think issues 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 are spectacular. Some of my favorite consecutive issues to read because it's just like whoa, whoa, and whoa. And I feel like issue 9 is, let me, because I'm trying to rely on my memory, such as it is, and this doesn't spoil anything. But then I remember there's a character on here that could be sensitive. So let me see if I can properly scan him out or scale him out of the picture because I'll have to do that. Where is he? There he is. Oh, I think I know what to do. There. Let me try this. I'll do. So there's, yeah. So this cover is awesome. And oh my gosh, if McFarlane could give us half of this, he's making some progress. But wow. And this is no phoniness either. We're getting all that in this issue. So it's great, great, and great. So there you go. Boop. But look, I'm looking forward to hear what you say next. What's up, Rocks? Can we rock? Lawson, my interest in X-Men waned at the tail end or after the Jim Lee era. It had more to do with me working to gain money for the Cooper School. No extra money for comics and such. Tuition money was my focus. You got that one. Harry G. I know with DC Multiverse, there is a lot of reuse. Honestly, you don't even think about it unless it's pointed out. Platinum chases, red hybrid, rare exclusive shenanigans aside, McFarlane has done a pretty decent job with this line. Yeah, I feel like this has been one of the lines that I've collected, probably maybe the one line that I've collected that I've seen so many people just coming after it and I don't quite understand. Now, granted, I'm not like, I don't see anything. The scale, yes, absolutely a problem. There's some reuses like Black Lightning and Deadshot using the Superman, Batman speeding bullets mold that doesn't make any sense. But when he's on it, and there's so many cases of him being on it, their figures are really good. Like if he had a ruler, McFarlane would be unstoppable. And I don't know if I would choose between using better bodies or having the characters scaled properly is the one thing I would love for him to fix overall this time. But I've gotten so many of these figures. I think they've done a really good job. And I think maybe when Mattel has it, this could be if Mattel is just delivering some trash figures, or if they're really dope and people like them. Think over time, people will go, you know what? Those McFarlane figures weren't that bad. And maybe some people go look online and go, wait, they're how much? I'm not buying these figures for that point, but I think they've done a really good job. And Henry, they get a lot of grief for I don't think enough reasons. But do the boots have fur? King Collector. I wonder if Mattel will continue the 7-inch scale. Has anybody heard what scale? No, they're not going to say anything until they've got it. So still quiet on that front. Apple bottom jeans. Tip the flow. Low, 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 low. King Collector. That classic McFarlane Riddler was really buff too. Yeah, he was. I think that he doesn't have, because it really seems like they didn't have the ability to swap out body parts as needed. So it was either you got to use this entire mold or that's it. Because there's some characters where the torso is a fine use, but then it's like just swap the arms. So maybe they just didn't make those figures when they initially put them together to swap out with other parts, because I think if we got a Riddler in the proper scale, he would probably be using that Booster Gold Blue Beetle mold, and then of course he'd have those awful boot molds, and I think the figure still has. But yeah, he wasn't gonna look great. David Thanos. So next week I have Doctor Doom, Monkey Wrench, Mixmaster, Cable, Frost, and Morph getting delivered. It's like early Christmas. Where are you getting them delivered from? Buffer Scarecrow isn't bad. He's not spindly, true, but he's not massive. And he now works for Marvel Scarecrow, too. He's gonna be too big for that, though, Lawson. He can be a horror figure, Dungeons and Dragon fantasy figure, etc. Versatile for the shelf. Absolutely. GameStop does not. Thank you. Because that was like, oh, that's it. Finish Bob. Scarecrow looks cool, but he's out of scale. Yeah, of course, he's definitely out of scale with the DCC collection. But DCC gave us a great Scarecrow figure. Anthony, I don't know, but do some of the more recent Batman figures been interesting? Ones I never would have thought about getting. I low-key want to pick up, like Troika, Batman, Earth 2 Society, the Kenner Asbats. Yeah, I mean, granted, I think maybe a little bit too much Batman variations, but some of them have been really fun. And like you, like that Batman Western one, I don't want it. I mean, I don't need it, but I kind of feel like that's a fun figure too. King Collector. On a side note, Big Bad Toy Store does have a big thing going on right now. And it doesn't look like they're doing their sales of the day anymore. Just here's everything for the week. And the sales are really great. Thank you. Appreciate that. If Red Tornado was a pegworm, it's because they didn't release him in his original, much nicer costume. Well, they fixed it now. But again, with that line, it was really, especially at that point, it was, oh, wow, a Red Tornado. Who knew? Because they were starting to get out of their cocoon of must make Batman and Superman figures. So, and the figure is really not bad. It's a solid Red Tornado figure. Just this one is much better. What's up, David? Hey, Jeff. Haven't said hi in a while. How are you? I hope things are great. Got Emma Morphin Sunspot, plus Anakin do Saturday, and Iron Man and Mandarin, which tempted to send back. So, what's the deal with the Iron Man and Mandarin 2-pack that is making you consider taking it back? Where did you get Emma Morphin Sunspot from? Very curious about those. Lawson, you got me to buy wrestling and Street Fighter figures, Jeffrey. Now I'm returning the favor. GameStop. I mean, it is kind of evil, those prices, because I was a big GameStop advocate until they started charging ridiculous prices. I was going there all the time. David, Target Geek tomorrow, 9 a.m. Yes. David Thanos, a lot of WWE on that Walmart collector con. What's there? What's on the Target Geek pre-order? Let's find out. Let's see. Let's see if they actually have it spelled that way. Oh, okay. Geek out. Aw, geek out. All right, let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Apparently it's been going on all this time. I have not been interested. All right. 5 years of Geek Out. Last drop October 3rd. So there's still time to get more stuff. Oh, let's see here. He draws mutants too. Here's next drop coming Friday. Tune in. Tune in to what? Oh, let's see here. What else they've thrown in there? Devastation. Let's see if this doesn't seem like it's telling us what is not or what's coming. I do need to get this Undertaker though. Definitely want to get that one. Oh, it's released on October 1st. That means the Shawn Michaels DX version should be hitting clearance real soon. So I have to stay on the lookout for that. Trying to see if there's anything else. Also, the whole clique, they're going to be out. Vintage Collection Gamorrean Guard. I mean, I still need another one to go with the one that I do have. Well, can't find anything else. So hopefully I can find that later. I'll let y'all know. I think I answered your question on that already. Pretty sure noon for Entertainment Earth. Yep. I definitely want a couple sunspots for similar reasons. Yeah, because I mean, it seems like they don't care about completing the New Mutants. And that really should have been, geez, like a no-brainer. I mean, especially when we got that Rain, Karma, and Moonstar, Danny, Rain, and Karma. Then you swap out. Why didn't we get a similar one for the guys? That was really confusing to me. And they're just sitting there waiting for the rest of the team. And Jibru, a bit bad toy store is processing your X-Men 97 figures too. Yikes! Man. Rick Cage. DC hash. I am double dipping again, Jeff. As long as it's easily gotten, yes to Red Tornado, Atom Smasher, and Spectre. Yeah, the whole one. Lostin. Do me a favor, because it's harder for me to get them on Instagram. Hit me up on my email with that. I think you have that. Just send me there. Because I have to save them, and it's harder to do while I'm doing it live. But thank you. David Carl, Steeler. Yep. Steeler and Short Fuse also. See Ritter. That's it, Jeffrey. The duck truck vehicle. Danny DeVito's like, want to race to Jersey Mike's. Way to tie in. If only I had Jersey Mike as a sponsor, that would have been perfect. Oh, you got a solid pile of loot going here. Princess Ahsoka, Hunter, Leonardo, Cap Venom 2-pack. Wow, that's there already. Interesting. Huh. Like Maurice said, we need a spreadsheet for all these orders. We need a real spreadsheet for when Hasbro decides to change the pre-order date that they said is coming, because that's the only thing I need. Like, hey, can I get like 2 months heads up? Yeah, when we told you December, we meant next week. Michael Solis, Best Buy combined with their Lego and toy section. There was only one naked toy on the shelf and everything else was Legos. Yeah. I mean, they get rid of their toys. I have no reason to go to Best Buy until that every 7-10 years that I need to get a new TV. David, I have a list just for Legends, Joe's, and Black Series. I don't know what I'd do if I bought more lines. Easy Reader, we were just talking about that last week. Yeah, Walgreens was great to me in terms of finding Marvel Legends. Crazily, on their website, they still have them there. They've raised the prices to $27.99, even though people were not buying them when they were $19.99 or $24.99. But I'm sure they will sell out of all the stores at $27.99. Henry G, that Target stuff has me worried, only because I'm using it on my morning commute at that time. Are you driving or are you riding? But yeah. I mean, but again, with the Target stuff, I mean, we've seen the Joe Divers, and I think maybe they're part of some reset coming. they don't really sell out of this stuff. Even if it's sold out on their website immediately, it's one of those deals where everything else is there. Are you looking for the G.I. Joes? I mean, because Breaker sure was there when I was stalking around all those different targets looking for him. Excuse me. Let me see here. I'm just looking on their website, which is not awesome. Trying to see if they have Breaker. Anyway, let us know if you have trouble, because maybe we can help you out with that. David Thanos, I think the unmasked Batman stuff falls in under that De Niro talk show where it's triple the price. Yeah, I wonder. And we have gotten Michael Keaton and all the current DCEU figures. So I'm wondering if whatever license they do when they're working on a movie at that current point in time, that goes along with the figures. But if it's outside of that realm, then you have to pay so much more. And I don't know. I didn't like that Joker movie enough to try to spend so much money to get that De Niro figure. David, I kind of miss Walgreens too because I was one of the few whose Walgreens always got them in fast. Yeah, my Walgreens was great for that stuff. Energy, got your back, buddy. Absolutely. Blake, I'm reading Crisis right now also. What issue are you on? Lost. Funny how life works sometimes. Absolutely. Now the figures are pricier than and there's tariffs. Everyone releases their best stuff. Well, I'll say that for later for when we go into the main topic, but I would say that one company has not been. They've been on it for a while. Maurice, you may have a side hustle here, helping everybody else with their spreadsheets. Document and rereading Kingdom Come. That was 4 issues, right? Because I think I just reread it not that long ago. And I really like that epilogue. That was cool stuff. Jamelin, Blake, once you finish Crisis, it'll change your appreciation for the DCU. There's so many references that you will get, so many random characters and events connect back to it up till the new 52. So I'm trying to think. All right, so instead of telling you go read Infinite Crisis, let me know when you finish with it, because then I'm going to have some recommendations and more suggestions for you in terms of where to read next. Because I was reading DC Who's Who issues when Crisis came out, so I was learning about these characters who were getting off as I'm reading Crisis. But I really started reading actively around that point. And so I was all these new characters. I was really fascinated with all these new books. Man of Steel. I was like, this is cool. So there's a lot of good stuff. And there's some other events, not quite, of course, on the scale of Crisis until they get to Infinite Crisis. And that one is amazing because they put time into it. So often there are these quick hit, well, let's just put some random thing together and call it a deal. But with Infinite Crisis, they spent almost as much time setting it up as they did with the original Crisis, where, like, if you get the trade or when you get the trade, because I recommend that one, you'll see all of the buildup and it's over so many books. It's like, wow, y'all actually thought this one out. And they have Jeff Johns writing it, so it's great and it's really good. Cannot recommend that one enough either. And they've got George Perez, Amarez, Jerry Ordway doing some of the art, so that's pretty cool too. But anyway, absolutely what Jamelin just said there. And David has another suggestion. When done with Crisis, have to pick up Justice League by giving to Matisse and McGuire, one of the best 80s comic series for first issues. I would absolutely agree with that. It's just legendary. Blake, never finished it. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Your secret is safe with me and all the millions of people watching this show right now. Blake and Henry, y'all are in for like a super treat because that's one that I like to reread every so often because it's such a fun read. And I think both Marvel and DC did their epic crisis. They did their epic crossovers, probably their best ones right away with Secret Wars and with Crisis. And then it was just, what do we do now? Let's keep trying. And I still don't feel like they're necessarily have been beaten. I think the Hickman Secret Wars is really good, but yeah, those two are really, really good stuff. Dark Knight 297 says Martian Manhunter needs a new figure. He needs a taller one. Maybe he can be as tall as Big Barda. Rick Cage says the Mythic Legion's Legacies, not even going to try out their names, will also be available for order tomorrow. There's too many things to buy everywhere at once. Yeah, like the Michelle Yao flick. That was solid. I like that reference there. Blake, yeah, I'm beginning to recognize so many more of the McFarlane or DC figures coming out. Yeah, it is cool because he's actually digging deep for the character selection too. He's like, I can't believe you're doing that. David Thanos, Doom coming from GameStop. Everything else, Amazon. Lawson, people often have access to grind sometime with Tide. Hasbro, I often find myself fed up with Legends because I'm old. My hourglass is running out. So are the days of our lives. I need some classics who are still young, Legends. Working on it. I don't understand the 9 a.m. Target drops because unlike everything else, where it seems like they're considerate of people on the West Coast, they're just all over the place with that one. Maurice wound up canceling Morphin Cable. I'm just going with Emma, Jubilee, and a couple sunspots. Wondering if I shouldn't try to pick up one or two more. Yeah. Now you got to find a blonde guy head sculpt for Cypher. I guess we kind of, well, we don't have the flat top version of Sam, which we need. Oh boy. Pixelated poses Storm Marina Ken arrived today in my pile loot. I totally forgot he was in it. This is wonderful. Man, when you open that figure and start posing him, you're like, this is great. Congratulations. David, off from Amazon, I'm thinking Iron Man and Mandarin gonna end up on clearance. Yeah, except for the Cabal set. Man, still kicking myself for not getting that day one. What's up, Robert? How are you tonight, my friend? Hey, Jeff, been busy, but want to say, hey, hopefully things are calming down for you. Good to see you. Doc Avenger. Seems my Mezco Captain America is on his way tomorrow. Cool. Doc Avenger, I definitely want to hear what you think about that one. Pixelated poses. Lost in Waldos. I want the original X-Men. Yeah, it's crazy that we don't have them. Updated Hellfire Club would be great. What do you want to see updated with the Hellfire Club? G-Brew. I'm hoping Ecstatic is not pie in the sky because, gosh, their designs are great. And they have the benefit of not being characters from 1960s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s. I mean, it seems like the Marvel agency would be well aware of Ecstatic. So hopefully they're not something that couldn't come. I feel like they'd be a really great box set. Maybe a Comic-Con set. We get like 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. But I hope we would see them. What's up, Olu? Gotta refine this pre-order list tonight. I feel like a lot of us are. Yes, please don't drive to make your pre-orders. We'll get you one way or another. One way or another. Anthony Rogers. Question, and anyone can answer. What are the easiest figures to army build? I need some good henchman type figures. If only you could dress up your Eternal figures. I would say go to Ollie's and just get all of them. The easiest figures to army build, and it just depends on what kind of henchman type you want. If you need them to pose like getting beat up by other characters, I would recommend the Mattel WWE main event figures because they're not as cheap as they used to be, but they're really, really solid in that. And let me see if I can some here in Target right now and show you. Now, of course, not all of them will work, but often you will find some that have street clothes on that work just fine. So like that Jey Uso figure here, he's wearing something you could rock with. Cena figures, also more Jey Uso figures. Like, and then like here you can see like this Rock and Cena one, great henchman set up there. There's some other ones. Here's another one you could use. I mean, they wear t-shirts, a lot of them. There's another one. So you could get away with using them for henchmen. Now, these are more expensive than they should be. At Target's website is janky when it comes to stuff like this, but you can find them pretty easily in their stores. And these tend to be on sale pretty often too. if you want cheap, I wouldn't recommend the Elite figures, even though they pose better if you're looking for that. So, like this Undertaker here, this one's an Elite, but you can probably get them on clearance later. And that is a straight up henchman. He's got tattoos, he's got a bandana, he's got a hat that you can put on to mix up too. So, those would be the best henchman figures that I would recommend because they have so many options and they have so many figures. So, there you go. Michael Solis Target is hit or miss. Sometimes it doesn't sell out. It's easy to get, and other times it's impossible to get. What was impossible for you the last time? Post your email in the chat, Jeffrey. Banner. There you go. Got it? There you go. I know it's confusing because it's not Lyle's figure files at gmail.com. But I did the other one first, so I gotta stay loyal to it. Yeah, let me see here. Oh, Maurice, you're basically looking for generic looking characters or ones that could pass. E.g., Legends, Tracksuit Mafia, the upcoming Daredevil in sweatpants and hoodie. Yeah. Pixelated Poses says Valiverse has a lot of basic soldiers with great articulation. Do you need them for photos? Robert Hayes, Identity Crisis is really good too. So I like Identity Crisis. I like it. There are just some issues with character deaths that I was not really a fan of. To DC's credit, they kept what happened in canon. They didn't shy away from it. They stayed with it. And I think in some cases they should have moved on and not done that. And with the new, everything happened, but it really didn't. Continuity they've got going on now, a lot of it's been wiped out. But I feel like Identity Crisis was kind of the point where DC's foundation was starting to get a little shaky and rough. And they were doing things to the universe. It was like the bad Jenga tower where they were taking away core elements to what mattered to those characters. And they could keep playing around and doing stories for like another year or so. But eventually it toppled over because there wasn't enough to keep it steady. And that's why it was easier for them to go to the new 52 because they had messed up so much stuff, going edgier and darker. And I don't necessarily think Identity Crisis was that story, but I think that was the first part to it. Cry for Justice is terrible. Definitely wouldn't recommend that. Robert Hayes says, if anyone has an extra target breaker, I need one as well. So let me know if y'all have an extra breaker. Hook up our friend Robert Hayes with that. Some henchmen that can go with a Gamerverse Kingpin or Tombstone, more soldier style than regular Street Thug. Gotcha. Blake, please do. Because I want to do like videos on those because, man, I just, of course, I still need to finish my X Factor 2 chapter. But when I'm done with Crisis, I'm going to hit you up for all up for more reading. Meantime, because of Crisis, my new interest in expanded DC, I picked up recently New History of the DC Universe 1 and 2. So that might be really crazy. I'm trying to remember where issue 2 ended. But I really love those 2 issues. They have been so good, and the artwork has been great. I mean, Brad Walker is one of my favorite artists who doesn't do enough stuff to me. I first started reading, his stuff on Aquaman when they did DC Rebirth. And I was like, this guy's art is great. And I felt like Aquaman didn't have an artist doing that quality of work, and we would get some really great artists on Aquaman after him. But yeah, he was really good. I learned later that he did Guardians of the Galaxy. I was rereading or reading the DNA stuff. But yeah, seeing him do these big, cool layouts of all the teams and the characters, awesome stuff. But I really have enjoyed the New History of DC. I'm waiting for the next few issues too. Easy Reader, has anyone read the Black Hammer series by Lenore? Are they going to make action figures for that series? If they do, sign me up. I have not. You would recommend it? David, same. Justice League was the first time I ever laughed reading a comic book, and the art blew my mind. They were so expressive. It's just amazing. Doc says War of Gods, Final Night, 0 Hour, Emperor Joker, Identity Crisis. We need a Sam Guthrie figure with this big ears like in the actual New Mutants comics. Yes. Rick Cage. Spectre, Mr. Mac version. I have both DCUC figures and love that version of Atom Smasher. Todd's good at doing bigger, beefy, brawny figures. That's a lot of bees. Bane, Grundy, Croc, Man Bat, they can be flexed into 6-inch. Dextrose, 44. Legends snuck its way back into my shelf. What figures did it for you? Gosh, why is it 9:30 already? Jeez. Pixelated poses. Hellfire Club on newer body molds. I see. What's up, Hustle SM? Man, I'm kind of like, yeah, I would like some more, but no, they're fine on the Bucky Cat mold. I was about to say, I need them in the new. No, they can stay on the Bucky Cat mold, and I will happily get more Hellfire gloves, Hellfire Guardsmen. What's up, bro? Shot, how are you? Ecstatic with a Zygus with a puke effect. I mean, why can we not get them? Michael Solis, impossible things to find in Target were Thanos, Psylocke, and I couldn't find that Black Widow to save my life. Yeah, it was weird because she was not available anywhere. And then they brought her back out on the shelves in my area in several stores. And they had her for clearance, which is crazy. We absolutely need Leland. We need to finish it. And Von Rome, that's he's Black Rook. So we need him too. Lefty. I'll be getting Inspector and Atom Smasher set, and we'll promptly sell Atom Smasher. Chase, Heroes in Crisis. that is bravo on the troll. I hated that story because it undid so much good work they did through Rebirth. And I knew when they were like, some heroes are gonna die. I was like, ugh, y'all have not learned your lesson yet. And that story is awful because they have Harley Quinn evading Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. It's like, in what universe? It's all for the sake of the story, which is so dumb. And then they were killing off heroes they didn't need to. Fortunately, Jeremy Adams was the hero and salvaged that story years later. But Heroes in Crisis is bad. So Blake, Henry, please never read that one. It's terrible. Jalen, I really enjoyed Identity Crisis, but it is a bit divisive. Yeah, like the big initial thing, I wasn't a huge fan, and I felt like that was another one of those deals where it's like, oh, you all like those Justice League characters? Let's take another one out. And it's like, come on, dude. But I did think for the sake of the story, it was pretty good. It's just the follow-up for it was bad with everything else except for that chapter, except for 52, the actual big 52-week spectacular. They never did anything else with it, and I was really disappointed. Anyway, Cosmic Odyssey is a really good story too, Doc Avenger. Dawson, my least favorite crossover was Executioner Song. After scrambling to get all the issues and rate it, I wasn't strike to execute me. I feel like your autocorrect got you. I can't translate that one. Yeah, it was that was one where I was really hyped up because I really enjoyed all the rest of the crossovers, but Executioner's Song was pretty lame. Fortunately, DC is like, oh, whatever you're drinking, hold it, because we're gonna do way worse stuff. Dark Knight, it is awesome. The new history of the DC universe is really great. And I really am appreciating how Mark Waid is trying to make sense of DC continuity because it has been thrown up in all kinds of confetti. And it's just like, what am I doing? And I feel like he's doing a really good job of weaving a thread and connecting it. Even the stuff that I wasn't a fan of them doing, he's made a way to make it work. So I'm really enjoying it. Man, it's funny you mentioned Cry for Justice. I was looking forward to that season. That series, James Robinson and his own Justice League mini, and the art looked pretty nice too. What could go wrong? What a disappointment, Jamelin, man. It was so bad because it's like, why? It just felt like DC got into this real creative rut of how miserable can we make our characters? How much bad stuff can we bring to them? That's why when New 52 started, I was like, great, because y'all have left the main continuity in a bit of a mess. And I am actually not hating the idea of wiping away some of the stuff. And boy, Cry for Justice had one of the most senseless character deaths in all of comic book history. I was like so mad. And then they just went down such a terrible path with one character. And since you read it, I know you know who I'm talking about. But oh my gosh, hated it. And I love James Robinson. His Golden Age is amazing. One of my favorite DC books, but whew, Cry for Justice, not great. Someone should do generic henchman sets. Figure Toy Company may be able to help you out there. It just depends on what you're looking for with your figures, but they are doing a lot of random characters now. So here's one that they've got right away. Now they're not quite matching up with your other figures, so they're going to stand out a little bit. So here's police officers. They've got ultimate law enforcement figures. And then they've got these ultimate fan figures. And I think this is a set, like people were saying, and they're doing, I mean, I think they might be a little bit overpriced, $79.99 for these 4, and I think it's more the goofy expressions and head sculpts. So they're not really going to work with your Marvel Legends, but you can see they've got all kinds of options. We got my man on the handlebar, Brad, Tasha, and my guy Gary here with his cell phone complaining. He's tweeting to Dave Meltzer. And we got my guy here, Clayton, with the beard. So, I mean, articulation's not the greatest, but they really are doing some diverse characters. And excuse me, if you want background characters, they're really good for that. And I think that is a really smart move for someone to do this. And if you want some more characters, here you go. We've got Lance and Sean. They've got face paint on. So if you want to have somebody like I don't know, whoever, you can just, I mean, these are pretty cool in this sense where you can just have a whole lot of background characters. This is where I think Figures Toy Company has found their niche. And this makes a lot of sense because we all want background characters for all of our different displays. What are some other stuff they've got here? Try, because I feel like they have some other stuff. Man, let's try the miscellaneous. No, not that miscellaneous. We got some. Oh, these are 8-inch. I think that they're really doing a pretty decent job of filling in gaps. They've got these ultimate wrestling figures too, and background. They've got some security, so maybe that's one that could work. A cameraman, a medic. Just make sure we don't have a bleeder. And then they got these 3-packs here. They've got this huge one. So if you want all your background characters for wrestling right there, got you covered. So they're doing what I think is a really good job fleshing out your background. So there you go. We don't have any. That sucks. Yeah. I mean, either way, because the Bucky Cap works fine for grunts. Easy reader. I would like the new Absolute Wonder Woman in an action figure. I wonder if Todd's going to do those characters. But yeah, Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman would be great. Man, I hated it. You're such a jerk. Dark Knight says, I really, really enjoyed Identity Crisis, but it might not be for everyone. Blackest Night. No, you got to get the Sinestro Corps War. I mean, the whole Green Lantern run that Jeff Johns did was amazing. But so when I was reviewing every DC book for DC, when they started DC Rebirth, they did so much great stuff right up until Heroes in Crisis or Heroes in Crisis. This stuff was great. And I could not scream at the mountaintops loud enough for people to read their books. But yeah, they did some really great stuff. And one of those was Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Heroes in Crisis is trash. Absolutely. I think Big Bad Workshop has an upcoming line they call NPC, which is just generic type characters. Valorverse is also supposedly working on a line called Extras. Yeah, I mean, because you don't need to try to beat Mattel and Hasbro their own game. Like, whatever. Like, you could make somewhat comparable G.I. Joe figures, but why when you could do stuff that they can't do or won't do? Absolutely. Yes. Really, really bad, man. Avoid Final Crisis. Blackest Night had a decent premise. Oh, I didn't hate Final Crisis. Yeah, and man, I think Tom Cruise did an excellent job on Batman, right up through the wedding that wasn't in the Mr. Freeze story. After that, it was just like, what's happening, Tom? And I don't haven't really enjoyed a lot of his stuff since then, especially the Human Target, which was not great. Jalen, oh man, Jeffrey, I like 52 and Booster Gold 52 pickup. I can see there wasn't a grand payoff, but those were fun reads for me. Is there? Wait a second. No, I loved, not just like love 52. The omnibus is too massive for me to walk over and get. And Booster Gold 52 pickup was astonishing. I love that so much. And how they were able to like take a change with a character. Oh man, that was awesome. So I liked a good amount of the new 52 because they were doing something different. But I really liked how they went back to basics with Rebirth. And I really enjoyed Nightwing and Batman because those stuff that were protected during New 52. Green Lantern was good. Justice League took a little ways to get going, but once it did, it was good. What else stood out? Birds of Prey, I did enjoy as well. I have to go back through because I liked more New 52 than I thought when they were announcing. But yeah, I loved Rebirth. Robert Hayes, I really enjoyed New 52. This is so wild. We just get on these long tangents and don't talk about anything. But I love that. That's the fun here. Dawson. They could do a henchman loot pack. Actually, 6-inch scale money in briefcases, bags of cash. Absolutely. Documented. The problem crisis was they didn't go all the way with the hard reboot. They wanted to redo Superman, kept Batman stuff, totally redid Wonder Woman. Should have a hard start. Yeah, they did. And then they made the same mistake with Batman and Green Lantern when they did New 52. It was like, wait, why do they still have the same continuity? How does that make sense? But yeah, I mean, Batman might have been the easiest one, but yeah, it didn't if you're going to do a whole new thing. Yeah, Doc. Golden Age was awesome. Pixel A poses one of the worst things that happened in DC was the success of the Killing Joke. Feels like every few years someone wants to try to spin on it. Yeah, and what made it work was it was not everything else. Jamlin, there's also line. Oh, there we go. I guess it's Big Bad Workshop. David Thanos. Walmart WWE Cancel Con is gonna have Ultimate Kurt. The Monday Night War said GI Bro, Rock, Fatu, as long as he's making a difference. Wolfpack Luger, and I think Wyatt 6-3 pack. Thank you. It's gonna be a lot of stuff there. Nah, I would imagine autocorrect was trying to fix that stripe 4 times. I got a few trades of his Starman, but I don't have the first one, so I haven't gotten it. Hopefully, Third Eye Comics will have another sale. But yeah, absolutely. Jibber, it's not really controversial. I like Dark Knight Returns, but it did start this whole trajectory of let's make all of our heroes dark and grim, where it worked for Superman, it worked for Batman, but then everything was so influenced and inspired by it, and they just started taking all the heroes down this. That's to say all of them, but in DC, it really felt like, well, let's do what they did, and that's what made Batman different. Rick Cage, I'm not going to put what you said about Identity Crisis. I don't want to spoil it for people. Hey, Lawson, I don't understand. I mean, with the Black series, they pump out more stormtroopers, no stormtroopers, snow troopers, but they regularly put them out. I don't see why we don't see that with Marvel Legends. And then they'll go, hey, here's a super scroll you can army build. No, and no. Jason with me. It is. Jamie, I thought Final Crisis was very well written, but if you're not into Grant Morrison's madness, it could be a turn off. It's kind of convoluted and kind of non-linear. Yeah. I did like that one though. Oh, Yeah, I read a few issues. I'm like, no, thank you. DJ Jedi New 52 was doomed from the start. The two writers for the flagship Superman titles weren't even in communication with each other. Massive fail. Who are the two that were doing Superman? Because I know I wasn't reading that one. Stormtroopers always sell well, Jeff. So I just don't get it. I don't either. Jace, I wonder if they don't make as much of a profit. See, that's the thing with the army builders, because by their same logic of maybe somebody is coming into the line new and they need a new Spider-Man or Batman or Captain America or Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, etc. You need foot soldiers, you need Hydra goons, you need Joker gang members, you need all those guys to get beat up by your heroes because they can't beat up the main villains all the time. So yeah, just keep on pumping them out. Well, I mean, but they do. I mean, they just keep in rotation stormtroopers. So, you don't have to always have them, which I think they should. But, like every 2 years, here's another round of Hellfire Club goons. Just do it that way. Or here's more scrolls. The novelization. Method of Madness, I need to check that out then if it's any good. All right. It's 9:45. All right. So, what are some of the figure lines that you feel have really turned the corner? Now, I mentioned earlier that I was going to hold off on one line that I think has been doing well for a long time. And for me, I have a few, but one for sure is Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends was in a point where I didn't think they weren't really doing much for me. I was getting figures, but they were so focused on the MCU, which I understood. I got, and it was like, yeah, that makes sense. I get what you're doing, but there were so many figures like, whatever. And and it wasn't like every year had bad figures. Let me just pull this up here. Let's go with the 2022 line just to give you an idea. And you have to forgive my lack of cool colors and images and all that stuff, but here. So we got in 2022 the Defender, Doctor Strange, Mojo, Ironheart. You can look. But let me see if I can pull up some of the highlights of what they gave us then. Marvel Legends 20th anniversary, Iron Man, Cap. They were good. So they were putting out decent figures, but there were so many other waves, like the Spider-Man 60th wave didn't do a whole lot for me. The Build-A-Figure Korg wave, the Love and Thunder was just like, But here, Walgreens exclusive, Baron Zemo, Jigsaw, also very good. And we had the X-Factor, Excalibur multi-pack, the X-Force multi-pack with Sam with legs that time. So we had the Blue Marvel. So there were some solid figures. But I feel like here in 2023, halfway through the year, they started making some real changes. Like right around the time we got the West Coast Avengers 5-pack, we got the Avengers 60th anniversary figures that were really well done. We got the Spider-Man Retro Wave, good figures, the Build-A-Figure Chode Wave, Puff Adder figures. So it was like that was when they started turning the corner. Then last year we had a ton of great figures. So I feel like Marvel Legends really started making some good headway where, oh yeah, I'm buying most of these figures as opposed to, well, okay, here's a good one here and there. Shadow Classified series didn't count in this because, I mean, really, outside of that small blip from the Snake Eyes, the awful movie, everything they put out has been good. And I'm still a fan of those original designs they did with Wave 1 and 2 and, whatever, the tweaks. But when they decided to just update the Real American Hero looks, I was down for that too. So let's hear what y'all have to say. Very different. Dark Avenger Comic Company's one above all. Marvel had Mark Grunwald when he retired. Everything fell apart. Yes. All right, Henry G. Marvel Legends for sure. The sculpts and greatly improved proportions, mostly for me. Yeah, I mean, and we've gotten, like I would say, in the last 3 years, a whole lot of definitive versions of characters. You look at Storm in this 2-pack with Thunderbird and with Wolverine. They did a nice job. I've been waiting for that version, and they delivered. Finally have green and yellow Banshee, but all those X-Men in the Uncanny X-Men 275, their training costumes, they look really good. I feel like one thing they've also improved, the head sculpts. There was a point in time where it's like, keep them away. This head sculpt's terrible. They've done so much better where we can look at that Lady Mandarin Psylocke and go, pretty solid. But the Deathbird's even better, as opposed to, yeah, that Lady Mandarin figure sucks. Like, if y'all were back in the day, remember the Scarlet Mitch era? That was, I mean, Toy Biz did great stuff. They never could get any of those head sculpts from the women right. But we're seeing regularly Hasbro do amazing work on head sculpts. Like this Emma Frost from the X-Men 97 wave looks great. Like they're doing cartoon versions of figures that look really good, can kind of fudge in with our mainstream line too. So I really think they're doing a nice job. G-Brew, NECA overall, they used to be extremely fragile. I remember those. I used to have to soak them in hot water right out of the package so I wouldn't break them. Now they're good to go without any preparation. That is really important because there is nothing worse than freeing a figure from all the plastic, the ties, and then something breaks. It's like, come on. I used to have that problem with the Soda Toys in their Street Fighter line. The pins they use were so fragile. And with the Street Fighter line, what's one of the first things you want to do? You want to pose them, you want to have them, do a little fight. And if they break when you try to make a kick pose, like, ugh. So yeah, absolutely. I understand that for sure. Fragile joints are not great. Oh, yes. Yeah, it was not great. Michael Solis, Shadow Classified series weapons used to be super gummy, and now they started to make them firmer. That's a good point. Because, yeah, when I have your blaster all limp. Jibru, the first xenomorph I got from NECA was stiff and hard to articulate. I went to pivot its foot and it snapped off. The one I have now moves smooth and isn't as fragile as glass from 1674 like they were. Excuse me. At least for an alien, you can put a little green around it and then like, well, they just blew the foot off. Excuse me. Retro Robo, definitely Marvel Legends for me, but I'm kind of biased. What do I dislike though is when they take 2 steps forward and 1 yellow boot step back. Solid. I love that play on words. Yeah. And again, most of these companies are not perfect. For me, it's about how are you doing things for the better? So another one for me is McFarlane. They did face panels. That was really cool. The face plates, that was cool. Maybe not as executed as perfectly as they could have, like the Guy Gardner with the 2 shades of ears and then the faceplate not actually matching up with those. But man, the soft goods capes, so much better. And then when they started doing classic versions of characters, how many bad Superman figures do we get? I mean, that first one, the Action Comics 1000, was my default Superman for so many years until, let me see here. You can see him on the shelf. That's Superman. That was a really good one. And then he got surpassed by that Superman. And that's this year. So they've really done some good stuff. That Wonder Woman, she's really good. It took forever to get a classic comic book Wonder Woman. Green Lantern, awesome. Batman, I still need to get the Nightfall outfit with the soft goods cape. Firestorm is good. Aquaman's great. And yeah, I could stand for a bigger Martian Manhunter. But they've done so many good figures over this course of time. Like that Huntress with the soft goods cape, it really adds so much to her. And Superman, Hawkgirl, it's really fun to get those figures. All right, let's see where else we got. Blake, since collecting Modern in 2019 and the 80th Cap Thor Iron Man came out, I've been picking and choosing great Marvel Legends and leaving the duds behind. Every year I think there's good figures and bad ones. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, is there not no one can bat 1,000. Except for maybe G.I. Joe. Henry G, just compare the new Crossbones to the old one, which at the time was awesome, but it's night and day. Yeah. I mean, especially that. And when people go, oh man, they're re-releasing the same figures. Like that figure is nowhere near the quality of this new one. And yeah, I get it. We would love to see all new figures done in this amazing new style, but there are some other older ones that really need this upgrade. Gladiator was certainly one of those. Hopefully, when we do get Executioner, we don't have to worry about getting a new one later. Lawson, McFarlane has given us some much improved stuff. Legends has improved sculpt wise, and I'm glad they aren't doing all those MCU things. I just need them to do more classic characters. I mentioned that. Yeah, maybe once or twice. Blake, to me, Marvel Legends is inconsistent. What do you think is a good one that you've seen the most improvement of, Blake? Doc Vendor. So when Marvel Legend does ROM, Icarus, that Icarus figure, geez, that figure had no right to be as good as it was. Star Fox, Kazar, Deathbird, Cardiac, if they do. The execution, I'm down for things like that. Didn't it do Savage Land 3-pack fail? Was it a fail? Did you get it? Or is that why it's a fail? Roger Robo, I have to give McFarlane props too because I literally stopped collecting those figures. Then he won me back with the improvements. Lawson, that's their problem in Tots. When they're good, they're great. When not good, it's very noticeable. Method to Madness. I want to say Marvel Legends, but I'm more biased in all the X-Men, West Coast Avengers, and Marvel vs. Capcom stuff I've wanted lately. Major props for actually finishing teams now, though. Yes, like that for sure. I mean, some of these teams, it didn't start in 2018, and now we're finally getting them completed. So, yes, absolutely. Henry G, I'm glad someone mentioned this. Another one for me is Transformers. Going back to the War for Cybertron, I've been having a lot of fun collecting Transformers again. But they have out some real bangers these last. Yes, they have definitely done that. And that's my line. It's so narrowly focused on the G1 figures and characters, but oh man, they've done amazing stuff with those. So absolutely. And I have some of those earlier versions of War for Cybertron, the Earthrise, and then they do the version that I really wanted with the studio series. Like, well, sorry, I didn't even get around to opening you, but you're replaced already. Henry G, that's why Savage Land 3-pack is a good exclusive, because not everyone wants it or needs it. Lawson says the Legends Gamerverse figures have been great. If you're going to re-release figures, at least do them better. They do that. No love for Hulk, though. How can they not do that Juggernaut? How can they not do that Juggernaut and the Max Hulk? How can they do that Juggernaut and that Max Hulk? I don't know what happened with Max Hulk. Like, the major lines have all improved for sure. Marvel Legends face printing is incredible. McFarlane is using better bucks and cloth goods. I think folks would like Marvel Legends to make their improvements faster. I wonder if they have like a slower time period or a longer time period of which to implement those changes, because we'd been clamoring for better molds when we were in like year 6 of the Bucky Cap mold, and now we're finally getting it with the Vulcan mold. But I wonder if they are just slower to make those moves than some of the other companies. Imagine if Max Hulk was like that Juggernaut. Well, I mean, he has a whole lot more stuff. So I wonder if some of that is too. Oh, wait, let me get to the ones you mentioned. I did start. Most improved, WWE Mattel. So I'm curious, can you elaborate on why you say them? Because I feel like Mattel has been pretty solid, like right away with the scale. That was great. They've improved for sure with the license, the likenesses of the characters. They've implemented soft goods. The Ultimate Edition provides better articulation. We're getting more characters that we wanted. But I don't know. I feel like they've been pretty consistent. So I'm curious what you say about that. Some McFarlane DC, Marvel Legends. Now let's go back to what you said. Apart from the 3 I mentioned earlier, Transformers is a good one too. Yeah. Dog Avenger. Yeah, it's a fail. You can't get one when Shayna is a desired and needed figure. Yeah. I do think that they could re-release her in a different outfit, because the one we got is definitely not what I think. I mean, she's wearing boots, furry boots, and she should be barefoot. I mean, that's what she's drawn as like 90% of the time. G. Bruce says Max Hulk is a joke, but is it a joke in your town? So let me check here. My email. I should have an email now. Let's see. There we go. Yes. I don't know why I need to do that. I saw it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. I did mention we have a download, and it's download. We have a giveaway. Talking too much. We have a giveaway tonight. All right. So now I'm going to do that one. Flav. All right, so let's do our giveaway now since it's 10 o'clock and I don't know how that time went by so fast. We've all got to sleep because we got to get up early to make sure we get all these pre-orders in. So let's do this one. And I have to think of a catchy one for this one. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Excuse me. There we go. Great. All right. So now I've got that all squared away for you. Lawson says most consistent companies, Four Horsemen, Boss Fight Studios, and Mezco. I feel like they're still improving with each release. Also, that's cool. See, those are three I'm not collecting, but what I do see from them look pretty cool. Harry G, I agree with you about Shayna Doc, but I bet she gets a re-release. They think it was released the way it was to get that Savage Land Rogue out. I feel like that's the case too. David Thanos, you're right. Eddie Guerrero definitely needed to have a correct skin tone. I don't collect them, but the main event figures have improved a lot. They have. Method of Madness is someone who liked the WWE figures back when Jax was doing them. Mattel deserves their flowers for consistency. Despite their scaling is off sometimes, it took them forever to make women bigger. Yeah, that is for sure a problem. Like, I mean, why is Rhea Ripley anywhere near the same size as a AJ Lee figure? Rick Cage has a crystal ball. Shayna will get a vintage card back release in her tiger print, as long as it's tiger style. David Thanos, Midnight is available. Go new meta. Very good. Gamerverse does not wear a late crown. Did your autocorrect go crazy too? I can't translate what that was saying. Okay, anyway. So we do have a giveaway. And let me show you what it is tonight. Maybe you all have already gotten it. But if you don't, it's a really good one. All right, let's see. Let's do. Great. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm sure you're wondering. So here is what our giveaway is for tonight. The Studio Series, Megatron. One shall stand, one shall fall. So there you go. This figure is amazing. David Thanos said one of his favorite figures of the year. So yeah, Retro Robo. What? Absolutely. This is up for giveaway tonight. So, ooh, Megs. Why throw away your life so recklessly, Prime? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. Good luck, guys. Absolutely. So, it's time. So, what do you need to do to put this in? Stop screen. Let's do that. And now let's open up a new one. All you have to do is put in this special hashtag. Of course, you won't show up because I was trying to do that. There we go. Hashtag tank. This is bad comedy. Megatron? Is that you? Here's a hint. So put in hashtag tank. Now we're going to introduce yourself as Megatron. Heroic nonsense. Now they're going fast. Let me see. What did he say his name was? Galvatron. Wait, I still function. What a bet. Megatron. Michael Solis, Super 7 is consistently going down. Tank Abbott. Constructicons inferior. Ah. Starscream. One shall stand, one shall fall. All right, let's see where we're at here. Got 12 entries so far. Let's see how many more we'll get. I'm going to let this run until 10:05, and then we'll do the drawing. All right, so just about that time. Well, I speak fluent. I speak TV. How about you, Retro Robo? There we go. So of course, I didn't mention how cool we're getting another wave of Silverhawks. So I'll have to do that tomorrow because guess more Super 7 Silverhawks. So I'm really excited about that. Lawson goes, and if you win, please, please send me your Jeffrey photo when you get it. That's all we ask. So Lawson, should we disqualify people who don't send us a photo after the giveaway? David down on Super 7 should have been down for a long time because of their insane prices. Great, their prices are just too much for this stuff. It's like, what are y'all doing? All right, it's 10:05. So where are we now? Harry G, I did not get the back metal Silverhawks. Let me see here real fast. Not that one, this one. So yeah, you can see, and I still need to open up Steelheart, put her on here. But no, because I started, I'm like, I'm not buying these all over again. With their cooler back metal look. And I'm really leery because I feel like they're gonna flake. And I mean the paint on my regular Silverhawks were already flaking, and I cannot imagine how, I mean, because I can fix this paint. I couldn't on a back metal deal, so we'll see. Oh yeah, I just saw those Silverhawks before the show. I meant to mention them next time. Yeah, it was just I get to talking about stuff and our excitement about comic books, and the time just flies. All right. Make the deal though, David Thanos. All right, let's see. Let's pull you up. Let's see how many people are in now. 14. And pull this window back up so everybody can see. There we go. What up, Game Quest? How you doing? All right. And here we go. Jamelin Parks! Congratulations, Jamelin. It's nice to see some of the VIP members who contribute so many of these giveaway items winning something too. So, congratulations, Jamelin. I'm pretty sure you have my email. So, you probably have lost this email too. So, hit us up and we'll make sure we get you all squared away. Congratulations, Jamelin Parks. Make the deal. No, they got new ones coming. No whammies. Oh, they're so cool. Love that. Hey, right. Oh yeah, Jeff, the Cage Power Man blue shirt is fire. Thank you. That came courtesy of one of our VIP members, which I do appreciate it. I'll have your Megatron in the mail. I got your address already, buddy. Sweet. Thanks, everybody. All right. Well, this time went by so fast, and that was one time, which is crazy. Anyway, so I'll probably do something again tomorrow. And I do need to talk to my dear brother Numsy to see if we actually are going to go through with our insane plan of doing a watch along of Batman and Robin. We'll see. Stay tuned. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, Wednesday, we're back at it again with Lyle's Movie Files. And then Thursday, another Lyle's Figure Files. And with all these pre-orders, I'm sure I'll be doing more videos. So stay tuned. Appreciate y'all so much. And have an awesome weekend. Till next time, this episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.